Hello, this is Ashish. Welcome to the news with NDTV. It's Wednesday, March 5th, and coming up in today's episode. Tamil Nadu Hindi imposition row rages on as all-party meeting concludes with set resolutions to the PM. Kannada-actor Ranya Rao gets picked up from the Bangalore airport over the gold smuggling charges. Donald Trump doubles down over the reciprocal tariffs on Indian exports. And Steve Smith hangs up the gloves after announcing retirements from one-day internationals. This is India, not Hindia, said the actor-turned-politician Kamal Haasan today at noon at an all-party meeting called in by the state Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. The meeting centered amid the ongoing battle between the BJP-led centre and the state run over Hindi imposition and delimitation, accusing the former of, quote, turning India into Hindia, unquote, for forcing the non-native Hindi-speaking state nationals to have a language education mandate with the new education policy 2020. Quote, the centre is trying to make all the states speak Hindi and win elections with the majority. Our dream is India. Theirs is Hindia, unquote. He said that at a meeting of Tamil Nadu parties this morning, after which a resolution was drawn on Hindi imposition and delimitation and was sent forward to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Hindia reference was a nod to Mr. Stalin's remark back from 2019 after Union Home Minister Amit Shah social post on Hindi Divas. In the same post, Mr. Shah said Hindi is, quote, the one language marking India's identity globally, unquote. After which the DMK boss clapped back, quoting, this is India, not Hindia, unquote. Over the delimitation row, Haasan, after the meeting, talked to the media and said, quote, my opinion is that these 453 seats need not change. Even when it was 145 crore, these 453 members led the country to this position today. They are sufficient. If at all they want to increase the number of people's representatives, let the assembly seats be increased, unquote. In the meeting, Mr. Stalin tabled a resolution urging Prime Minister Narendra Modi to ensure delimitation, urging that if it's carried out now, it's based on the 1971 population levels and retained for another 30 years to motivate other states to control their growth. The resolution also sought for a constitutional amendment to ensure present proportional representation to all states if this number of MPs are increased. 5 smaller opposition parties, including the BJP and its local ally, the Tamil Manila Congress, did not attend. The BJP and the TMC called the meeting a ploy to divert attention from what it says is a deteriorating law and order situation in the state. State Chief Minister addressing the meeting said, and I quote, to encourage family planning by all states, in 2000, the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee gave assurances that delimitation will be drafted based on the 1971 census. Similarly, PM Modi should give an assurance that the same draft will be followed from 2026 for the next 30 years. Tamil Nadu is not against delimitation. However, this meeting requests that delimitation shouldn't be punishment to a state that has implemented various social welfare schemes, unquote. The resolution also set out plans for a joint action committee to be formed by MPs from Tamil Nadu and other southern states, which have also expressed concerns about delimitation to, quote, create awareness among the people about the issue, unquote. Delimitation is the process of redrawing parliamentary and assembly constituencies to reflect population changes. The idea is to ensure that each constituency has roughly the same number of people living in it. In other words, delimitation is directly linked to the size. States with larger populations get more representatives in parliament than states with smaller populations. Ranya Rao, the famous Kannada actor and the stepdaughter of Director General of Police House Corporation, Ramchandra Rao, was one step away from clearing the airport security today at the Kempegowda International Airport in Bengaluru, when a team of the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, DRI, intercepted her and recovered gold bars worth rupees 12 crore she was allegedly smuggling. The 33-year-old actor, who started her career with 2014 Kannada film Manikya, had flown in from Dubai on an Emirates flight on March 3rd. It is alleged that the two people accompanying her were carrying the smuggled gold in the briefcases. Some media reports suggest that Ranya was hiding some of the gold in her jacket and also wearing some to evade detection. All the accused had almost cleared security at the Kempegowda International Airport and were about to exit when a DRI team, which had specific intel about the smuggling attempt, stopped her and started a search. Quote, upon examination, the gold bars weighing 14.2 kilograms were found ingeniously concealed on the person. The contraband, valued at 12.56 crore, was seized under the provisions of Customs Act 1962. Quote directly from a DRI statement. The search then moved to her house on Bengaluru's Lavale Road, and the investigators found more there. Quote, following the interception, DRI officers conducted a search at her residential premises located at Lavale Road, Bengaluru, which she resided with her husband. The search resulted in the seizure of rupees 2.06 crore and the Indian currency amounting to rupees 2.67 crores. The lady passenger has been placed under arrest under the relevant provisions of the Customs Act 1962 and remanded to judicial custody. The total seizure in the case stands at 17.29 crore, marking a significant blow to the organized gold smuggling networks. The agency's statement said. The agency noted that the haul of 14.2 kilos is, quote, one of the biggest seizures of gold at Bengaluru Airport in the recent times. According to reports, Ranya Rao had been making frequent short trips to the Gulf countries, and that put her on the DRI map. Ranya or her stepfather haven't issued any statements as of yet on the incident. Ranya Rao is a Kannada actor who has acted in several films like Manikya, Pataki, and Tamil film Vaga. Last night, the US President Donald Trump addressed the joint session of the Congress at the Capitol Hill. In his address, Trump reiterated his criticism of the, quote, very unfair tariffs placed and imposed by India and other nations, and announced that the reciprocal US tariffs will take effect April 2 onwards. Trump aims to impose the same tariff rates on imports from these foreign countries as those nations impose on US exports. To quote him, other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries, unquote. Trump said during his address to a joint, the first of his second term, quote, on average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair, unquote. Citing India as an example, Trump said, quote, India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%, unquote. Trump repeated his long-lasting position that the United States must counter what he sees is as inequitable trade policies. He said that his administration would soon impose reciprocal tariffs on countries such as India, China. In a Fox interview, Trump also revealed that he had made it clear to PM Modi that India would not be exempted from the new tariff measures. Quote, nobody can argue with me on this, he added. And today, Trump added that from April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs will kick in. Quote, whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their markets, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our markets, unquote. His comments came after the administration imposed sweeping levies on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China, citing issues such as illegal immigration and drug trafficking. The move has also drawn sharp rebukes from international leaders, such as the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused Donald Trump of trying to cripple Canada's economy in a bid to facilitate a US annexation. He also criticized Washington for targeting certain allies while, quote, appeasing to Russia over its actions in Ukraine. During his address, he also pressed on several other agendas in the office. The remarks on, quote, permanently banning and criminalizing sex change on children. As part of his battle to remove, quote, wokeness, he continued his tirade against sexual diversity in schools, the workplaces, and in armed forces. Picking up from this, quote, US will recognize only two genders, unquote, the January remark and his demonization of the campaign trail of transgenders and gender-affirming care for children. To quote him, I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex change on children and forever ending the lie that the child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie, and our message to every child in America is, you are perfect exactly the way the God made you, unquote. One of the greatest to ever step on the international cricket stage, the Aussie batter Steve Smith has announced his retirement from ODI cricket after the team's exit from the ICC Champions Trophy on Tuesday. Smith took the Australian captain's mantle after Pat Cummins was ruled out of the tournament over an injury. Smith took on the role with grace as he led the Australians to the semi-final stage, where they were beaten by Indian squad. Smith, arguably one of the greatest players from the Australian Outbacks, had a stat sheet to go with his accolades. To point to some of the extraordinary ones, he took centre stage in a whopping 170 ODIs for the team, scoring 572 runs with 12 centuries while winning the World Cup twice. The announcement comes out for his consequent declaration of his retirement from the 2027 World Cup ODI series as well. In a post from Cricket Australia, he made the following statement, quote, it has been a great ride and I loved every minute of it. There have been so many amazing times and wonderful memories. Winning 2 World Cups was a great journey and highlight, along with the many fantastic teammates who shared this journey. Now is a great opportunity for people to start preparing for the 2027 World Cup, so it feels like it's the right time to make way. I feel I still have a lot to contribute on the stage, unquote. Smith was Australia's top-scoring batsman in the semi-finals, scoring 73 runs off of just 96 balls. With Smith quitting the ODI format and not a central figure in the team's T20 setup, the Test format happens to be the only platform where the batter would be seen in action. After the Champions Trophy semi-finals, he played down on the venue advantage conspiracy to India after being comprehensively beaten by the team by 4 wickets in the match. India's playing at the one venue has been a hot topic for debate among the former cricketers and some sections of fans. There has hardly been any press conferences where questions haven't been raised about the tournament scheduling. After India stormed into the final, head coach Gautam Gambhir quickly dismissed the possibilities of his side receiving any undue advantages of playing all of their matches in Dubai. Quote, yeah, look, I'm not buying into it. I think it is what it is. India has played some really good cricket here. The surface kind of suits them and their style with spinners that they've got and their seamers that have all the disposal for a wicket like that. They played well, they outplayed us, and they deserved the victory, unquote. Smith said in the post-match conference on Tuesday night. That's all for today. You were listening to the News with NDTV, your daily newspaper and bulletin wrapped in a compact podcast. If you want to catch up with the day's events in a hurry, do remember to subscribe to the News with NDTV on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and the NDTV News app. This is your host, Ashish, signing off.